Hello and welcome to Polymerupdate. I am Pratiksha Karkera and joining me today is Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava, an experienced entrepreneur with an experience in plastics, PEC and PET specifically, packaging, thermoforming and plastics recycling. He is the managing director of AVI Global Plast Private Limited, India's largest producer of plastics solutions for fruits, foods, pharma and the packaging industry. He is also the chairman of the Environment Committee for the All India Plastics Manufacturers Association. Mr. Bhargava, thank you for joining with us on Polymerupdate.
It's a pleasure.
And today we are going to talk on, is the world heading towards a plastics planet? So plastics are perceived negatively by many, as all of us know. There are a lot of anti-plastics campaigns all over. And don't you think the awareness of plastics as a necessity is somewhere lacking?
We are seeing this as a outcome of plastics being used abundantly. You go look back at the 70s where paper was the material which was largely used. We felt that we would be cutting down all the trees of the world to just be able to use paper. Now it is the case with plastics. The growth rate of plastics has been really phenomenal, and it has become probably a part of every person's life. Now, given the use it has, and the disposal of packaging material, which is not being done responsibly, has created the negative context at which plastics is today being looked at, and that's the real problem. So yes, it is a problem, and yes, we are a plastics world today.
Yes. So with 7 billion tons of plastics, there are still left untouched for recycling, and we have made an island of trash, if I must say. Now, do you think is responsible recycling of plastics a solution, like one of the solutions to this very grave problem?
In fact, it is the only solution. You monetize the waste, and it will get picked up and it will get back in the system. It has happened in the case of PET bottles. In 2005, you would see it everywhere on the road. Today, you don't see a PET bottle on the road. It is simply because there is the industry worked together and worked out solutions where the bottle could be replacing actually resin. The bottle gets crushed. It becomes again a raw material which replaces resin in some applications. This helped generate a good economic value to the waste, and this model, if replicated to all plastics, we wouldn't be sitting on this problem. So yes, recycling is the only way forward.
So plastics are omnipresent and they are found everywhere. When you step out of the house, you will see plastics lying everywhere. And even in our oceans are also not left from plastics. Because in 2010, reports and researchers had suggested that 8 million metric tons of plastics had entered the oceans. And numerous cases of sea animals, be it a turtle whose nose was infected with a plastic stick, or a whale in which 20 polythene bags it had swallowed. What do you think should be done to resolve this problem, so that we can maintain a balance in the environment?
So we actually should use plastics where it is really required, where things can be reused. Design innovation should be in that direction. If plastic bags, for example, are to be used, they should be made heavier so that they can be reused more. The whole point is, you logically look at it. If anything can be reused, no person throws it, and that is what we need to head towards. When we are designing packaging as companies, as an industry, we should be able to look at that when on disposal, when a consumer disposes it gets back easily to the recycling system. The lesser we do it, the more of these problems we will face. The problem of marine litter is extremely serious. It was in fact discussed in the G20 meeting earlier this year, and our country is again being taken lead to go ahead and tackle this. I am personally involved in the Versova beach cleaning project, as our association has sponsored cleaning JCB, tractors, people, and now we are looking on solutions on how to get it back into the recycling stream.
So talking about plastic awareness being the major concern, the manufacturing part of it is somehow targeted as the main cause for littering, and eventually plastics are seen in bad light. Talking about anti-plastics campaign, say no to plastics, people have a totally disregard towards plastics. How can this notion be rectified, sir?
We as people have a habit of putting the blame onto something else. Here we have targeted plastics. What I would like to put across is that we need to attack the problem and not the material. Today it is plastics, once it was paper, earlier it was glass, at one point it was metal. So the material will keep changing. But if we don't, as a country, if we don't look at collection systems, segregation systems, recycling systems, and we don't create collectively with the government and environment so that it happens effectively, we are not going to find a solution to this.
Absolutely, sir. So a blanket ban on plastic bags of 50 micron had been implemented all over India. Every state had pledged to follow this. But how much of it is actually followed? And was it a right decision to put a ban on a product which has barely any alternatives?
I would say that if it is handled in an irresponsible way, we would see more of these bans. It's the lighter the plastic, the more it will fly, the more it will damage the environment. The whole idea of getting it to 15 microns, the idea when the government thought of this was that it would increase the reusability of the plastics, of the bags. So I would just again put it as that if plastic bags are continued to be made under the below the regulated norm, we would see more of these bans. We need, as an industry now, we don't need to wait for the government to intervene. We need to stand up and decide of what we should be doing correctly and not.
Absolutely, sir. So plastics are used for manufacturing a lot of products, be it a household commodity or process manufacturing. But what about its waste that are hazardous to the society? Because does this curb the usage of plastic in daily life as such?
So to start with, I would like to correct that plastics is not hazardous. There are specifically maybe one or two specific kind of plastic if made can have some problem, but if plastics were hazardous, it wouldn't be used in medicines. It wouldn't be used in our bodies. It wouldn't be used in everyday life. So there is no hazardous context to the material, neither to its recycling nor to its waste. However, companies who recycle it should follow these norms so that they are not, when you're using water for washing, since it is coming from post-consumer waste, the recycling is handled in a very responsible manner. What plastic is doing is actually taking care of the convenience which it is giving to almost every second product which we see.
So talking about the recycling, because everybody believes in recycling these days, so a lot of innovative ideas by different people across the world. There is one person named Satish Kumar from Hyderabad. He converts dead plastic into reusable fuel. And there are many people who are called as, this person is the plastic man of the earth and so on. But don't you think the government, our Indian government, should be keener in promoting these ideas, because eventually it would lead to a better environment?
So here I would urge the government to probably come up with plastic recycling parks where they are giving some sort of concessions to people who are looking at recycling. Now this, like what you mentioned, is pyrolysis. So pyrolysis is just one of the solutions available. Today there are many. There are people who are converting it pellets to get it into roads. There are companies who are making blocks so which can replace bricks. We need to actually promote this as an industry, and the government should be rolling out benefits so that people entrepreneurs are actually incentivized to come and invest in recycling more and more.
So sir, lastly, a war against plastics is emerging. So with n number of campaigns all over India, a lot of campaigns happen. So they promote say no to plastics, which is again on the verge of anti-plastics. How difficult will it be to imagine a world without plastics?
So when we imagine a world without plastics, it will be going back to the Stone Age. It will be more like saying that we won't fly across more, we won't use mobile phones more, we won't have our medicines, we won't do surgeries where we would see parts, get the walls which we use for even heart transplants are now made of plastic. So we are not going to do all of that. It doesn't work like this. The problem is we attack the problem and we work together and come together a solution for that. Attacking the material is not the way out.
Absolutely.
And I leave it at that.
Okay. Thank you so much for your valuable insights, Mr. Bhargava. With camera person Ankit J, this is Pratiksha Karkera for Polymerupdate, the fastest growing petrochemical market intelligence company in the world. If you have enjoyed watching this video interview, please subscribe to our channel and press the button below. Thank you.